Oh, do you want to talk about Concord?
Sure.
It was a huge news this week. I don't know if I've ever seen more. Actually, no, I lied. I think the Borderlands movie probably comes close to
more discussion about a thing nobody did.
More discussion about a thing absolutely nobody actually did.
Yeah.
PlayStation announced that they would be taking live service hero shooter Concord offline less than 2 weeks after the game's official launch.
Yeah.
This is huge, not because live service games don't get pulled offline all the time, but because the game had allegedly been in development for 8 years, costing
$200 million.
According to some estimates, hundreds of millions of dollars to develop.
I have no idea if this is legit. I've heard the $200 million price point thrown around a bunch of times.
I've also spoken with some people who pay attention to, PlayStation, who are pretty miffed about the whole thing in general, because this was just Sony, in their mind, chasing that live service game cash at the expense of the kinds of rich single-player experiences that PlayStation
really well known for.
Has been so well known for.
And honestly, how they won the current console generation.
Yes. And so they've been really frustrated that so much development has gone into this piece of crap that could have gone into games that they could buy for their flipping PlayStation, and instead they have nothing to play right now.
Yeah. The only person that I know that played it or bought it is Conrad. And Conrad said that he thought it was pretty all right. If I remember correctly, he said he thought it was about a 7 out of 10.
While some argue the game was solid, there were some strange design decisions, such as encouraging players to switch characters on respawn to get buffs for their team, when players typically like to stick to their mains in character-focused games.
Hate that decision with a fiery passion. That was so dumb. Wow. So I read that for the first time. I didn't know about that until I saw the WAN doc originally. I was skimming through topics and I saw that and I was just like, what? Are you kidding me?
You know what's funny is, as a casual, I'm like, oh yeah, that seems like a good idea.
But no.
Like encouraging people to try different play styles and blah, 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 blah. Like,
honestly,
I can understand.
I don't even agree as a casual. Because
well, you're not a casual, so
because fair enough. If you get tossed from
how many
one
hours
character
he
to
has
another,
in like League.
Those are old
so
hours.
just take whatever he says as the ignorant ramblings that it is.
A compliment on the WAN show? What's going wrong?
This is
Chat
not a
help.
compliment from Linus. The idea as a casual that you'll spend some amount of time getting used to a character, and then just as you're finally you've learned most of their abilities, you're kind of getting the groove, and then it's like, nope.
Yeah, but remember, it would level things the other way as well.
Not really.
You're gonna have.
I feel like it would make it harder to catch up. Personally.
You're gonna have the obsessives that know absolutely every class
within 2 days because they stayed up for 48 hours.
But I think a lot of people jumping in would take. I think the intent was that it would take a little longer for people to master everything, and it would force people to kind of level themselves up in a more balanced way and maybe find new play styles that they otherwise wouldn't bother to find. I understand the intent.
But it's not going to happen. You have to understand human behavior.
But that's not just
what
human
you're going to
behavior.
get is
you need to understand that player-based behavior.
That too. But I straight up believe I can't say that I guarantee that this happened just because so few people played. But if a lot of people did actually play, I guarantee you a thing that you would have is people that immediately dodge on character respawn. Because they're like, I don't want to play this, Alt F4. Promise you that would happen.
Yep.
There's so many things. If you are at a computer connected to the internet, the options that you have are practically infinite.
Yep.
If you spawn as a character that you hate, why are you going to keep playing? Just quit. People already dodge if they don't get to pick their favorite character in other games because someone else picked it and they are unwilling to take their second favorite character. Yep. Now you're going to give them a completely random dice roll? It's not going to work. Terrible decision. Hate it.
The game isn't dead per se. Game director Ryan Ellis says they're going to determine the best path forward. And in the meantime, every person who bought the game will be receiving a refund. So that's something. Although
that's very nice.
It's less of a gracious thing than it probably sounds like, because it's, in the grand scheme of things,
Oh, because there's
Not a ton of money.
that bought it. Oh.
This failure has caused concern about PlayStation's future live service titles such as Marathon.
Yeah, I know there's a lot of concern around Marathon. Hopefully it works out. I really hope it does.